Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about the difference between let, var, and const. Before getting into the video, I will show my folder structure for your reference. Here you can see I have three JavaScript files. Those are const and let and var. Those things are in JavaScript file. Finally, these things are appended into my parent HTML file, and I am running my server. So here you can see the consoles. Dive into our topic. So for our better understanding purpose, I opened three files at the same window. Here you can see my var file. This is my let file. This is my constant file. Okay, then I added a console in every file. So here you can see those consoles are printed in our browser. Okay, okay. So the first one is initial. The first important thing is initialization. Initialization means basically creating a variable, right? So I will create one variable. So the variable name should be, for example, I am giving a number. Okay, so I am entering var number. So this is my variable name. Okay, this is for my variable file. I mean var.js file. So here I am going to declare the variable name is called let number. So this is my variable name in the let file. The constant file I am creating the variable with const. Variable name is const number. Okay, so we can easily understand it. Okay, now I click the save. Here you can see this is initialized. Okay, I mean variable is created. In the let file also we can see the variable is created. Okay, but here you can see it's showing on error. Const declaration must have initialized. It means the const variable we can't initialize the constant without numbers. I mean without any values. Okay. For example, we should give the initial value. It can be a number, it can be a string, or it can be array or object or anything. Okay, but this is a main thing. Okay, so we can't initialize the constant without values. Okay, this is the first difference. Now the second difference. The second one is assigning the value to this variable. For example, here we just initialized only, right? We are not given any value to this variable. So now we are assigning the value. Okay, I am assigning var number equal to, okay, for example, 50. Okay, this is my var number value. If I add console dot log var number, so here you can see the 50 value. So this variable have the number value 50. So this is assigned. This 50 is assigned to this variable. Similarly, we can assign the variable to let number. Okay. Okay. For example, let number view should be small. Okay, we should follow some casing. So mostly JavaScript developers are following camel case only, so we can use camel case. Okay, so here also I am assigning the let number value into 50. If I click save, after that I need to add console.log, then only we can see the value is correctly assigned or not, right? So I'm adding the console.log let number. Here you can see this value assigned to this let number. So similarly, I am assigning I am trying to assign the value to the const number equal to same value I am giving. Okay, 50. If I click save, here you can see a type error, assignment of constant, assignment to const variable. So what it says is we can't change the value of the constant. Okay, it should be only one time change only, right? I mean initial time only we should give the value to this constant number. So this can't be changed during the entire code. Okay, for example, which of the data we need to assign the const means, for example, date of birth. You can see, you understand, right? We are our date of birth should not change at the any time, right? So those much of scenarios we can use this constant variable. So now the third one, redeclaration of same variable. Okay, for example, if I declare the same variable again, means what happen we'll see. Okay, using var number equal to 100. If I am changing the var number value into 100, if I click save. Okay, so here I can comment this line. So okay, here you can see the var value have 100. Okay, so initially we have 50, the value is 50. After I again I created a variable with same variable name. Okay, so but I given the value into 100. You can see that value is changed from 50 to 100. Okay, similarly we can try with our let also. Okay, here I am trying let. let number equal to 100. But here you can see some warnings provided by VS Code. Okay, if I click save means you can see the some error. You can see uncaught syntax error identifier let number is already declared. Means we can't declare the same variable name again using let. Okay, but in where we can create it will work. Here you can see the changes, but in let it's not allowing. Okay. Okay, comment this. Similarly, we'll try with const. You already know const value can't change. Okay, if I try to declare the same variable again, means what happened? See, const number equal to 10. So here also you can see some warnings provided by the VS Code. Yeah, if I click save, you can see the error in our terminal. Identify syntax in already declared. So it shows we can't create the same variable name again using our let or const. But if you are using the var, we can again create the same variable, I mean same variable, okay, with a different value. So this is not a correct one, right? If you are writing a big number of codes, more than 100 lines or 1000 lines, big modules, means it may cause very more I mean more issues. We can't able to predict which cause of this. So for that purpose only, in ES6 they introduced let and const. Okay. Now the fourth difference, scoping. Scoping is nothing but writing a code in between this open and the close curly braces. Okay, this is called scoping. So in JavaScript we are having two types of scoping. One is called block level scoping. The second one is called function level scoping. So we'll see the block level scoping first. Okay, for that I am creating one if statement basically. So here I am adding true. So JavaScript will read the code inside the if statement, right? So here I am again assign the value to the same variable where number equal to 100. Okay, here I am adding on console.log for checking for our checking purpose. Console.log where number. Okay, if I click save, here you can see two types 100 printed. The first console is this one. The second console is outside of the scope. There is also printed the same 100. But you can see I assigned the value inside the scope only. But this is assigned to this one also, correct? So that's why we are telling the where is not specific to scope. So it will update its parent, global parent. Okay, so where work like this. Similarly we'll try for let. Okay, for that I'm just copying this. Okay, here I need to change the let, right? Let number. Okay, with the same 100 value. Okay, if I console that let number means what happened, we'll see. So here you can see the first inside the scope we are assigned again the let number with 100. Okay, but in our global we are not given any value to this let number. So here I am, for example, I am giving the value like 5. Okay, if I click save, here you can see the first console is printing 100. So this console is printing 100. The second console is printing 5. So this is printing 5. You can see, right? So this says if we are doing anything inside our scope with the let means it will not go outside of the scope. It will always remain inside the scope only. It will not change any of their global. Okay. Similarly, you also note you can also see that we again use the same variable name here and here. So it's allowing to create the same variable name, right? If you are creating inside the scope means JavaScript will understand this we are creating a new thing. Okay, but if you are trying to do the same thing inside that scope means it will not allow you. For example, I can show you. Here I am changing the value into 120. If I click save, you can see the it's already declared. So if you are declared anything inside the scope means it will consider this a first time only, so it will run. Okay, similarly we'll try for a const. Copy this, I paste it here. I need to change the variable name. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, where number equal to 100. I added console log here with the where number. Where, okay, if I copy this and I paste it outside of the scope also. If I click save, here you can see 100 and 100 only printed. Okay, Here this is assigned to, okay, I need to add const, right? Sorry guys. Const, const number. Okay, if I click save, I'm doing same only, right? Oh, you uppercase, okay, sorry. Okay, if I click save, here you can see only one time it's printed. Okay, this one only printed. This one is not having a value. You can't see any value, right? Because I added a empty string. That's why you can't see any value. So I am giving some number value so we can see this in our console. So if I click save, you can see the two values are printed. The first one is 100, so this value is 100. Okay, this outer one is 10, so this one is a 10. So as it is, the const also work inside the. I mean, if you are changing anything inside the scope, means it will always there inside the scope only. It will not affect their parent. It will not go outside of the scope. But if you are doing the same thing inside the scope again and again, means for example, I am creating a variable with same value in, I mean, same variable name inside the same scope, means it will not allow me. If I click save, you can see one error, it's already declared. Okay, so if you are add any variable or anything inside the scope, means JavaScript will think this is a new time. I mean, you are creating the first time, like that only JavaScript will think. So yeah, similarly, let and const both are work the same case, but in where it's a different case. If you are changing anything inside the scope, means it will manipulate at their parent also. So that's why we called where is a not scope specific, but let and const are a scope specific one. So this is the difference. Okay. Now the fifth difference is called a function scope. Okay. The function scope is nothing but inside the function. So for example, I am creating one function with the name is called test. Okay, function test. Okay, I'm creating a my scope. Here I am again doing the same thing. Okay, I'm creating a variable with same name where number equal to, for now I'm doing 66. Okay, if I click save, okay, I need to add one more console so we can understand better like previous. So dot log where where number. Okay, if I click save. Okay. Oh, I need to call this function, right? Okay. So here you can see 66 printed, then 50 printed. So this first console is 66, the second one is 50. Okay, this scenario you can see this is not updated into this parent, right? But if you are using block level scope, it will update his parent. But here you can see the difference, right? If you are using the function scope, it will not manipulate its parent. JavaScript will consider this is a new one, so it will not do anything outside of this scope. Okay, so this is the main difference, guys. If you are not clear on this, means just pause it here and again. You can check that block scope logic. Okay. So similarly, we'll try for let. So I will copy this code. Okay, we'll try with let. Okay, function paste let number. So here I am adding the value to 15. Okay, just for my understand, I mean your understanding purpose, I am doing this, guys. Okay, don't mistake me. So okay, here also we added a two console. One is inside the function, one is outside the function, right? So here, as usually you can see the 15 is printed. After that, 5 is printed, right? So this 5 is a global one, 15 is a function level one. So this one also JavaScript consider. If you are added inside the scope, means it will not manipulate its parent. It will consider as a new one. So this also you can understand, I guess. So similarly, I will try with the constant. Okay, click enter. Okay, 1 minute. Control C, Control V. Okay, on enter. So I am changing to const number. For my understanding only, I'm creating the variable like this, guys. For your scenario, you can do properly. Okay. Okay. If I click save, I change this 15 to 20. Okay. Okay, if I click save, you can see the first 20 is printed this console. After that, the global on 10 is printed. As usually, we can see the block level scope, the let and the const are work same, right? Similarly, in function level scope also it will work the same. If you add anything inside the scope means it will not go outside of the scope. Okay, it's always inside only. You can't use this thing outside of the scope. But in the variable type, the function scope only do like this. I mean, if you are add anything inside the function, you can't able to use it outside the function. It will not manipulate anything outside of the function. But if you are using block level scope with var means it will manipulate its parents, and you can use this value outside of the block level scope. So this is only one difference. In function level scope all things are act like same. Okay, but in block level scope var only goes outside of the scope also we can use it. So this is a main difference. I hope you understand this. So if you are not get clear on this means just pause this video and watch this again, or if you have any doubts or questions means please post it in the comment below so I can explain it in upcoming videos. For your better understanding purpose I created this comparison table. Okay, now the first one, initialization means assigning a value to the variable. Okay, so yeah, initially we without value we can create a variable. Yeah, we are not assigning value to this variable. Okay, but in let it's also possible, but in constant we should give the value to the variable. Okay, after that redeclaration we can create a variable with same variable name is possible, but in let and const it is not possible. Then modification of values, by using where we can easily modify the value. In let also we can easily modify the value, but in constant we can't able to modify the value, because in the name itself we can see it's a constant. Okay, so it's not a modifiable, I mean changeable. Then the block scope means writing the code inside the open and curly close curly braces, it's called as one scope. Okay, so yeah, the var is not a block specific one, because yeah, we can easily access this code inside the block to outside of the block. Okay, so it's a global one. Okay, but let and const are block specific. If you are added anything inside the block scope means it will accessible only inside that scope only, we can't access outside of the scope. Okay, after that function scope means nothing but just a function. If you are write a code inside the function means javascript will understand these are specific to that function only. Okay, this is common to all. For let var const all work like this. So we can't use the values inside the function scope outside of the function. Okay, I hope you understand this concept. If you have any feedback or suggestions please post it in the comment below so I can learn from it. Thank you.